Up next, contributing producer Claire Murphy brings us the story of a nonprofit group that works to improve the lives of inmates across the Midwest. Pages to Prisoners is a volunteer organization that provides access to books and reading materials while incarcerated. And none of the prisons we tried to get comments from for this story were willing to talk on camera.
The goal behind this, behind getting letters from prisoners and filling their requests for books is because a lot of the people at these prisons don't have reading materials or don't have access to a wide range of reading materials. And so we're just trying to, in some way, give them more access to those kinds of materials.
On the surface, Pages to Prisoners seems to allow volunteers to send books to inmates because they cannot be prohibited from receiving mail. But Indiana University criminal justice researcher Judah Shept says it's filling a teaching void, too.
Pages exists because there's actually a dearth, like a total absence of reading materials and educational materials in our prisons these days. In 1994, Congress cut all Pell Grant funding for prisons, so prisoners ceased to be able to attend federally funded higher education opportunities.
And if this person is trying to learn how to be an electrician, we need to get them, or him or her, that book, because otherwise they won't be able to do that.
In that context, Pages becomes all that much more of an important resource.
Many of the prisons that Pages to Prisoners interacts with have restrictions in place that deal with the way books are packaged and sent to inmates. The organization has to make sure that no area of the package is left untaped or the facility can prohibit the inmate from receiving the package.
The logic for that is so that it's clear that nobody has gotten into the package when the package arrives at the prison facility. There are some facilities that require that you have no tape on a package, so in those cases we have to send them in different packing materials.
Taylor Dean, a Pages volunteer, deals with returned and problem packages. To find out why a package was returned, she must call the jail.
Usually it's some kind of restriction that we didn't follow on our end, or there might be people in the mailroom who kind of create their own mail policy. Sometimes it seems like people who are working for the prison don't want people to have books or letters for some reason.
Shept acknowledges the resistance to the program. He believes it's hard to make an argument that inmates, who often don't have many resources already, shouldn't have reading materials either.
Prisons often target, in a lot of ways, people who are poor, people who are too poor to afford high-powered attorneys, people who are too poor to bail out of jail, let's say. And so to a large extent, if you get into talking about rights, you're talking about, in a lot of ways, further marginalizing people who are already marginalized. Most of the time people are coming back to our communities, right? I think the average prison sentence is around 4 and 5 years, it might be between 3 and 5 years. So, we're an incredibly punitive country, and yet at the same time, almost everyone who's locked up in our prisons and jails, they're coming back to our communities.
The commitment that we all have as volunteers to an idea of an open policy with prisoners where they are treated first like human beings who may be repopulated into our communities and therefore are members of our society and people we have to be concerned with and take care of.
Pages to Prisoners delivers over 12,000 books to hundreds of prisons across the Midwest each year. Find out more about their needs or how to volunteer on their website, pagestoprisoners.org.